members of the public on the list.
Motion.
Second.
Motion.
Councilmember Anderson,
Yes.
Councilmember Egan,
Yes.
Council Vice President Escobar,
Yes.
Council President Socorro Ludwig.
Yes. Now, I have a couple comments that I want to make, and I'll ask my fellow councilmates if they have any comments before we go into the OEM update. First, it was brought up at the last meeting when we're going to be back in person. And right now, we're continually working towards safely transitioning back to in-person meetings throughout the city. It is our intention, out of responsibility, to approach a process in a consistent, uninterrupted manner. This requires assessing the development of standards for similar public agencies with similar constraints, weighing the consequences of the results. Although our vaccination rates may be skewed, urban areas in general are still struggling to reach all members of the community in anticipation of a safe threshold. This correlates directly to our dynamic and concern for all parties involved, especially with the restrictions dictated by the size of our council chambers. The determination to relocate meetings also poses its own set of logistical concerns, but if needed, will be looked at in the future. Distinct entity reopening is structured around unique circumstances. For instance, our municipal courts have partially reopened. However, they can control capacity through a scheduling mechanism, something that cannot be achieved in a public forum. Also, it is worth acknowledging and proudly stating that New Brunswick was one of few municipalities who operated consistently every day from the onset of the pandemic. Our services never ceased. In fact, we had one of the worst winters in recent history, and our men and women worked tirelessly to clean our streets. Our administration navigated through uncharted waters, developed emergency plans, and remained available always to the public. And all meetings were conducted in a manner that not only accommodated, but encouraged public participation. This will not change. Please be patient as we develop our guidelines in the reopening process, and we continue to examine new standards as they arise to ensure a plan that stands firm on the heels of public health and safety. Our dedication and commitment to serving you does not change because of the location. We sit to serve from any seat. And next, I just have a statement I'd like to make about Juneteenth. The bill to make Juneteenth a national holiday unanimously passed the Senate and is heading to the House. Juneteenth acknowledges when some of the last enslaved people in our country learned of their freedom. It is a day we should celebrate with resolve, looking forward to ensure that equality and justice reign supreme as the very foundation of the inalienable rights afforded to every person in our country, conscious of all moral turpitude that feeds discrimination. We must, without reproach, change the mindset of judgment based on the color of a person's skin. Be guided by your heart every day, but especially on this day, remember and reflect, thenceforward and forever free. Those are my comments. Council Vice President Escobar, do you have any comments?
I just want to mention very briefly that on June 6th and June 9th, I participated, I volunteered at the vaccine clinics at Metro School that were sponsored by the city, by Robert Wood Johnson, FEMA, and thanks to the efforts of the NBC Healthy Ambassadors who went out into the community to do canvassing and outreach. Thus far, we have vaccinated 451 New Brunswick residents in those two clinics. The third one will be conducted on Saturday, and hopefully we are expecting over close to 300 more residents to show up. So I just want to say thank you. This is part of many other initiatives that the city has in place for COVID vaccinations. And I think that we are moving that needle even more so in terms of the percentage of residents who are getting vaccinated. So thank you.
Thank you. That's great to hear, Council Vice President Escobar. Councilman Anderson, do you have any comments?
Yeah, just a couple. I'd like to thank the New Brunswick Elks Lodge, number 324, for having a ceremony on Monday on Flag Day. It was a great day. I was proud to speak for the mayor and the members. Congratulations again to the Elks. Also, pretty soon schools will be out. That means more students, young persons will be around. Please be careful as you drive, especially if they do go to camps and different things like that. There'll be more students around, so just be aware of all that. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Egan, do you have any comments?
I do not, Council President.
Thank you. Director Rawls, can you please give us an OEM update?
Unmuted.
Sure.
Thank you.
Muted.
While most of the state COVID restrictions have been lifted, some restrictions remain, including the wearing of masks in healthcare and public transportation. In addition, individual businesses and buildings may have their own enforcement by policy. Vaccination continues to be a priority. Everyone ages 12 and older is eligible for the COVID vaccine. Local vaccination sites available for the next week include Thursday, June 17th, In Focus Urgent Care, 335 George Street, 18 years of age and older, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. by appointment. To register, call 609-799-7009. Saturday, June 19th, Eric B. Chandler Health Center, 277 George Street, 18 years of age and older, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Walk-in, no appointments needed. Saturday, June 19th, A.C. Redshaw Elementary School, 216 Livingston Avenue. Please use door 9 on the Delavan Street side. 12 years of age and older, 18 years and younger must be accompanied by a parent or guardian. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. by appointment. Please call 732-247-2050 to schedule. Saturday, June 19th, Joyce Kilmer Park, Joyce Kilmer Avenue, and Comstock Street. 18 years of age and older, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Walk-in, no appointments needed. Sunday, June 20th, Recreation Park Lane and Reservoir Avenue, also known as Pine Street Park. 18 years of age and older, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Walk-in, no appointments needed. For the sites that require an appointment and additional vaccination dates, please visit our city website for details. Free COVID-19 testing every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the New Brunswick Housing and Redevelopment Authority, 7 Van Dyke Avenue. There is no appointment necessary for this location. Free COVID-19 testing is also available at Unity Square Community Center on Remsen Avenue every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There is no appointment necessary for this location. Free COVID-19 testing on Monday, May 24th for all New Brunswick nonprofit employers and employees from 8:30 a.m. to 12 noon. The Tavern on George, 361 George Street. Appointments are required, and you can register by clicking on the event on the community calendar at cityofnewbrunswick.org. The city continues to share updated information about COVID-19 on our website and social media sites. The COVID-19 report podcasts are on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They can be found on the city website, cityofnewbrunswick.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Rawls. At this time, we're preparing to open the meeting for public comment for up to 5
Unmuted.
and one time up. Madam Clerk, will you please prepare a list?
Yes, Madam President. If any member of the public wishes to address the council, please state your name when the appropriate letter of the alphabet is called, letters A through Z, E through H, I through L,
Charlie Cradaville.
okay, I have you both. Q through T,
Danielle Moore, I don't know if you heard me.
yes, Ms. Moore, thank you. U through Z. Is there anyone A through Z who wishes to address the council during this public comment portion of the meeting? This is the last call, A through Z. The list is now closed. Council President, the first person on the list is
Muted.
Charlie Cradaville.
Thank you. Mr. Cradaville, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Charlie Cradaville once again. How many body-worn cameras has the New Brunswick Police Department deployed?
Deputy Director Miller, are you on the call and do you have an answer to this question?
We are currently in the testing phase with body-worn cameras, but as official deployment, we don't have any in operation yet.
Okay. Does that mean that the department is in violation of the state mandate?
Well, we spoke to the prosecutor's office about that, and the prosecutor told us and all the departments at a countywide meeting that as long as we're in the process, she does not see us in violation, considering that the prosecutor's office is in the same boat. This legislation was brought on quick, and we have done everything we can to come up to speed. However, logistically, it's not possible. The prosecutor's office is not up to speed as of yet as well, but they're in the same process that we are in, and we will get it run out as soon as we can.
Well, if only some voices had been raised in years past urging the department to move in this direction, maybe we wouldn't be in this boat right now. But it's unfortunate that there are 0 body-worn cameras deployed here some 6 years after you told New Brunswick today that the department supported implementing them. Certainly been a lot of major expenses the city's taken on. Indeed, just tonight we saw a contract with raises for the police officers, but body-worn cameras 0 deployed. Can you tell me when maybe the first one will be deployed? Is there a timeline? Is it going to be this year?
I can't say for sure when the first one will be deployed, but I anticipating it being sometime this year.
Okay. And is there a total goal that you're shooting for to have a certain number of cameras to be able to cover all of the patrols?
Every officer in the department will be issued one, and will wear one. There are certain exceptions on when they do not have to or should not wear one. That's in the directive, and we will follow what the directive says. But there will be a camera for every officer in the department.
And what's that, 140, 150?
Currently, we have 135 officers in the department.
Okay, thanks. I'll move on to the supermarket that's been vacant for years. Apparently, the parking authority is renting that out to the county, and it will not be a supermarket after all. Does the council have any comment on that, failure to deliver the downtown supermarket?
The only comment I would make is that the supermarket, there were 2 different ones there, and they don't seem to be, it wasn't a receptive business for the community. People didn't choose to shop there. They still chose to go to other places, and there wasn't enough business to sustain it. Now the parking authority is going to be receiving money in rent, and the county is going to be having a cheaper lease. So it is a win-win situation.
Okay. Are there any department heads that have put in for retirement? I know the 1st of July is coming up. Any department heads going to retire?
I am not aware, Mr. Drulis, do you have any answer to this question?
No, I'm not aware of any retirement. of any
Thank
department
you.
heads, no.
Thank you.
Thank you. The Make It Count program's been collecting funds from the community, ostensibly to help people in need. Have any of the funds been spent so far?
Mr. Jones, are you on the call?
Yes. The answer is no.
Can you please?
No. So those funds
hear
are
me,
just
Council
sitting in an
President?
account, have not been used to help the community.
Yes,
Um,
yes, I did. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Well, I'll save that for another day, but I do want to ask, it's so rare to have a split vote. I know tonight Councilman Anderson voted no on the cannabis overlay zones ordinance. Could he just explain why he, didn't go along with it and voted against it?
Thank you, Mr. Cradaville. I'll ask Councilman Anderson if he'd like to answer you, and your time has expired. But Councilman Anderson, would you like to answer Mr. Cradaville's question?
I just thought that there were too many unanswered questions at this time, not only in the city, but from the state guidelines.
Thank you. And thank you for your comments, Mr. Cradaville.
Madam President, the next person on the list is Ms. Danielle Moore.
Thank you. Ms. Moore, the floor is yours.
Hi, yeah, I would like to just start off with you, Ms. Ludwig, first, and please do not interrupt me because I have the right to make my comments, long as I do not use any cuss words regards to you. I won't be surprised if the city won't have council in person anymore due to where I know you're scared. And like I said, you've been scared ever since with the planning board, with the protests, when you had the whole police department escort you all the way home. And honestly, that's why I believe you gave Captain Miller the raid, to keep your house probably protected due to where you're so scared. And like I said, for you to even ask me, was I threatening you, were all I was talking about with running, maybe it's time for me to run for council. It was a question, but I want to explain something to you. Anybody in New, I don't have to threaten anybody. I'm a good-hearted person, caring, sharing, helping, and the Lord knows that. Anyone that does do disrespect me, they are punishment, and I believe you've seen that in your own eyes with Mr. Egan. Sure, he apologized, but yeah, with laughing and calling me, ooh, I was paranoid. Wow, the moment that I was getting my surgery done, oh my, it's like the pain went to him where he couldn't sit down for 2 weeks. And like I would say to you, as you were disrespecting me, you are out of order, Ms. Ludwig. And yes, you will be punishment because you're, like I said, your evilness towards me will come back and bite you in your rear end. I don't have to threaten nobody. The Lord is watching and he will. Like I said, with you disrespecting me the way you do. So I don't have to threaten you. I would just like to say I'm disappointed with the police department even getting a raise due to where what? What are they really doing to make a raise? I tell you, one thing that New Brunswick Police Department needs to do, take action, start sitting on these corners writing tickets. What bars Joyce Comer Avenue, within a month's time, accident, Sanford and Joyce Comer, and Howard and Joyce Comer, almost ran into the house. And then on June, another accident with Joyce Comer and Sedan with the school bus with 6 kids on it. Wow, and then over here, 2:34 a.m. over here right in front of my place. Wow, took down the whole entire signs on the block. Wow, the police didn't even arrest the man. But like I said, very sad what the police department is doing where they don't need no earning. I will say thank you to Mr. Jones, where yes, he did call for instructions for 335 and 331. I did see an exterminator. I thank you, where I have to say, my apologies, I can't take my anger towards you due to the rodents. That's what city council and the mayor, due to where 2019, 2020, I showed you the pictures, catching 30 mice in 1 month. The city should have taken action. But I believe you're letting Somerset go dead, not even trimming the trees, doing anything. So Robert Wood Johnson can buy the property? Yes, that's what I believe. Because like I said, to see nothing is being done is very shameful. I will also thank Brandon, that Cheryl Smith's daughter, where he came over and took the pictures. I will thank Alex for communicating me with text pictures. Like I said, wow, for the police, and I go back to the police department for getting a raise. Come on, what about the garbage crew? New Brunswick is so overcrowded. What, they can't, garbage or recycling can't even pick up the load in one day. They are busting their behind where you had to pay them overtime. Come on, what about a raise to them? What, when I asked the mayor, ooh, are you going to pay more taxes or more people going to pay taxes? But wow, you give the raise to the police department? What, for what? What are they really doing? Honestly, other than driving up and down the street, looking at people doing things, not writing tickets, what, not making any arrests? Please, what I saw over here the other day, and I from the number 732-932-7217, 7212, from the police officer calling me due to where I didn't want to show my face. Well, what? You had a major car accident over here. They left the scene. Somebody else